A lot of you are starting to see why Mad Rabbit Tattoo Aftercare products have been featured in Men's Health Magazine, Forbes, CNBC, the business journals. It's because they're the best tattoo aftercare products on the market. Natural, organic ingredients, and great discounts when you use my promo code, TheTattooedTraveler, at checkout. So go to madrabbit.com today. If it's your first time ordering, I would suggest getting yourself some of the tattoo balm to enhance and maintain the color of your ink. Also, the daily replenish lotion. That's really good stuff. And with summertime, just around it's here. What am I saying? Around the corner. Get some Defend. That's the SPF 30 sunscreen. It protects your tattoos from the sun. It's called Defend. All right. Go to madrabbit.com and enter the promo code TheTattooedTraveler at checkout. You get a nice discount. They take good care of listeners of the Toddcast. Go to madrabbit.com and enter the promo code TheTattooedTraveler at checkout and protect that ink. It looks so good on you.
Welcome to the host with the most, Toddcast. And now, direct from the Razzle Dazzle Studios, here's the tan, tattooed connoisseur of conversation, Todd Newton.
At your service, Maria Todd, here as well, as always, making the world brighter, more vibrant. I think I told you, Maria, a couple weeks ago, I just updated my will, which is a good thing to do. You know, if you have a major life change, you have a new child, or you get married, get divorced, it's not always the sexiest thing to think about. I get it, but it's just good for an adult to have a will, a living trust, healthcare power of attorney. These are things that we should have, not necessarily for us, but for the people that, you know, we leave behind if we kick the bucket. You know,
right.
It just makes life, you don't want, my thing is, I want all this paperwork there so that I'm not remembered as a pain in the butt. You know, I don't want to become something that somebody has to do. I don't want to add to anybody's plate. You know, if I kick the bucket,
you don't want a GoFundMe page for your funeral?
Yeah, and I don't want people to have to sit through probate, and I don't want people to argue over this and that. It's like, look, here's a piece of paper that says this is what he wants. This is who gets what. Done deal. Forget about it. And one of the things that I'm really adamant about is I want to be cremated, and I don't want a funeral. You can have a little celebration of life thing if you want, but I don't want people wasting money on me. You know, it's expensive. So cremate me, divvy up my ashes, and y'all do with them what you want. If you want to throw them away, throw them away. If you want to dump them in the ocean, because you know I love the ocean, do that. But New York State is one step closer to allowing residents who pass away to go green. You know, this whole climate awareness thing is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And there are people who have petitioned to have their bodies turned into human compost. And that's when a dead person is transformed from human remains into soil. And the process, the human composting process, it takes 30 days, and it's referred to as natural organic reduction. And it's legal now in 3 states. You can do it in Colorado, Oregon, and Washington. You know, obviously 3 very liberal states. And to me, it makes sense in certain aspects, because every year, I was looking this up to see if this is just some crazy thing that a handful of people are doing. But every year, an additional 1,600 acres of land are needed to bury people. You know, think about how much space a body takes. You know, a casket.
Well, a casket takes up a lot of space.
Right, 1,600 acres a year. How much longer can we do that? And cremation isn't great. I mean, it's more environmentally friendly than burying. But according to National Geographic, 534 pounds of carbon dioxide is pumped into the atmosphere every single time someone is cremated. That's a lot of carbon dioxide up there. So,
wow.
I don't know. It's called human organic reduction. Would you ever look? I don't want to be turned into soil. Ashes are bad enough. Soil, no.
I don't know. You know what? I want to be cremated too, and I kind of don't care. Like, I don't have kids or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's like whatever happens to me, it's like whoever is the last person living in my family, you got to get rid of everybody else.
Yeah, that's
So,
and I guess there's no reason we should get all worked up about it because, frankly, we ain't going to know what they do with us. You know what I mean? It's
no. But I will add this one helpful tip.
Yeah.
If you want to bury somebody at sea and you don't have a boat, the Coast Guard will actually take you out so you can do that.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
That's right. You have to call them and make an appointment, but the Coast Guard will take you out so you can scatter ashes.
Well, that's cool.
Let's get back to the talk that will keep you talking. This is the host with the most, Toddcast, with Todd Newton.
It's Maria's favorite story from my book, Life in the Bonus Round, which you can get on Amazon or ToddNewtonOnline.com. Yeah, she just left me sitting there with a big old plate of flapjacks, little plate of pancakes. So in that respect, I guess things could have been worse, you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm glad. But how did you get your car back?
Somebody that was eating there from the club, I just went over and said, hey, can you run me back down? It was only about 1.5 miles or so. Run me back down, and I went inside, and she had come back in, and she wasn't trying to steal my car. She was freaking out. She thought she saw ghosts.
Hence
Poor
the
young
name
lady.
Casper.
That's right. That's right.
But Casper's a friendly ghost.
Well, Casper's a thieving ghost now. In my eyes. Hey, look, Maria, I love cake as much as the next guy does. I like cake. I like pie. You give me any pastry, I will devour it. But I want to tell you about this guy in Mexico City who showed up at this pastry shop at 8 o'clock in the morning, right? Walks in and walks up to the baker, friendly fella, just trying to earn a living, serve the community with delicious pastries. And he pulls a knife on the guy, steals a fresh chocolate cake, and then he runs out. Now, here's the thing. The next day, same man shows up at the same shop, pulls a knife, steals another chocolate cake, and takes off.
What is going on?
He does it again the next day. And again the fourth day. He's walking in, pulling a knife, taking a cake, and running. Now, finally, after 4 days of this, the manager decides it might be a good idea to call the police and say,
really?
Hey, listen, for the past 4 days, there's been a dude that's just been walking in here and, stealing cakes. So on the fifth day, the police are waiting for him. And he walks in. The guy walks in, sure enough, as I'm sitting here, pulls a knife and demands his cake. He says, where's my cake? Says it in Spanish, because it's Mexico City. Says, where's my cake? By this point, he's not only robbing the store, but he's robbing it with a sense of entitlement because he's done it.
Like, I'm supposed to have my cake.
Yeah,
doggone it.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you know the routine, right? I walk in, pull knife, grab cake, run. So the police arrest him. They come out from the back and in from the outside. They kind of surround him, 3 or 4 cops, and he goes peacefully. But he was just some goofball criminal that was going to ride this thing till the wheels fell off. Is that a bizarre? I love these dumb criminal stories. I'm
going to keep this up until I get arrested.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm going to get arrested eventually, but I'm going to keep it up until.
That's right. That's
when
right.
you figure you got 4 tasty cakes to eat in peace.
Isn't that bizarre? I think when I was a kid, I think I stole a pack of gum from a mini mart one time. And when I say kid, I mean like 10, 11. I think my buddies and I rode our bikes to some mini mart, and we usually had $2 or $3 in our pockets to get a soda or something. But this day, all my friends had money, and I didn't. I think I lifted a pack of gum, and I remember that to this day. To do it every day, I'd be my pits would be sweating. They'd see me coming from 4 blocks away. Wow, man, really something.
I think when you're a good person, it's hard for you to do something bad, like you give yourself away.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're a bad person, you're really cool about it because you're always doing stuff like that.
Yeah. It's just good to be good, ain't it? That's about it for today. Thank you for joining us for the Toddcast. Be back in a couple of days with more chatter. All right? Get out there, make the world a better place.
Thank you for keeping the art of conversation alive. For more Todd, visit toddnewtononline.com. And don't forget to rate and review the show today. The Host with the Most Toddcast is produced by the Host with the Most, LLC. All rights reserved.